Good morning. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Badhun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and IS certified international educational and training institute. In last years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seeker from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professional is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student community resource providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by offering formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to student job seeker, job holder, and also for learner, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinar, seminar courses, award quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and one knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concept for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support. You already completed 1,794 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, you already completed 1,794 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website, www.ediigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create your account for once with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy all feature. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now on, you have to take all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you're an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online life quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in any award function which organizes common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can still prepare and download 18 types of certificate from our website in a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Interest in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of Achievement, IGP Knowledge Government 2020, 2021, and 2022. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tool. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4, The New Trend in Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling Our Leadership and Managerial Skills. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Arts. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tool in Teaching Mathematics. certificate of IGP corporate ambassador, certificate of IGP campus ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, education tools for teacher. You can join IGP alumni. You can check out our 50 Premier Services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical problem, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous condition. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all of it. It's a cordial request to check all button and pages on our website. If you like and see, you'll be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or login, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we have interested our 1,795 webinar, which name is Solution Focused Problem Solving, and today our speaker's name is Hachi Hain. He is from Malaysia. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, sir, I'll share a very little bit about him. International leadership trainer, corporate trainer, and coach founder. Calibre Business Solutions, BH, training and development company. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You can start,
sir,
is it?
Please present your presentation.
All right. Thank you so much, Pada. All right. Are you ready? Yes? I hope you're ready. If you're ready, just give me a thumbs up. I can't really see you very much, but you give me a thumbs up. I can virtually see you with me. Yeah. So welcome everybody to this topic, solution-focused problem solving. And this is a problem solving program, basically teaching you how to solve problems in a systematic, resourceful manner. How many of you here would like to be a better problem solver? Yeah. In fact, I'll ask you this question. How many of you here face problems at work or any other place? Yeah. And how many of you would like to solve problems? Yes, we do, right? We have problems to solve every day, yeah, especially at work. And we are all paid to solve problems. We are paid to get things done, yes. And this is where problem-solving skills are very, very important in my experience, working in a workplace as well as in business as well. Yeah, would you agree? You are, right? Okay, say great. So my name is Ha. Just call me Ha Chicken here. Just call me Ha. I'm from Malaysia, and let's get started. So as we get started in this program, I want to ask you, why are you here? Why are we here? Yeah, there must be a good reason for you to be spending the next 2 hours with me. Yeah, from now until the next 2 hours approximately. Yeah, there must be a good reason that you decided to do this. Yeah. So with that, I will ask you two questions to get started. Yeah. I believe there must be a perfectly good reason for you to sign up here today. Yeah. So question number one, I want you to think about this as we begin. What do you hope to achieve from this program? Okay, what do you hope to achieve from this session here? Yeah, what are your best hopes? Okay, think about this, and maybe you can put it into the chat or write this down. Write it down on a piece of paper or put it into the chat box if you can, and share with everybody. What do you hope to achieve from this program? Yeah, and question number two, equally very important as well. I want you to think. Suppose, just suppose, if whatever you hope for actually becomes true or became true, how will that make a difference for you in your work, your career, and life? Yeah, whatever you learned here, if it actually becomes true, how will it help you in your work and life? Yeah, let's think about this. Write it on a piece of paper or put it on the chat. Yeah, wherever you are right now. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think about this and really set up the frame of mind for today. Yeah. All right. Write it down on a piece of paper, put it into the chat, share with everybody if you can. Yeah. All right. So I can't really see it, but I assume that you have some good reason for being here, right? So whether you write it down, I hope you do, or you actually keep it in your head, I want you to remember this. as we go through this in the next 1.5 hours and so, I hope you can actually pick up something that's important for you that you can actually take home and use it at work or at home. Yeah, and I hope my goal for you today is that to create some kind of aha moment that you say, I didn't thought of that. Thank you so much. Now I know how to get things done better. Okay, would that be good? Yeah, great. So let's get started. Yeah. So a little bit about me. So just now a very nice introduction, but basically just a quick one. So I've been 10 years in leadership training and development. So for the past 11 years right now, I've been doing training to build leaders in the company and in the community. Yeah, I believe that leaderships are the key to success. How many of you would like to be successful? Yeah, if you want to be successful in all areas of your life, yeah, in your relationship, at work, in a career, in your lifestyle, I believe that we all need to become the leader we want to be. Yeah, and this is where I train, because if you are willing to become a leader, you're willing to step up, means you are willing to be responsible. And when you are responsible for yourself and you're responsible for your work, your career, your family, things gonna happen. But if you're not willing to be responsible, it's gonna be tough. Yeah. So 11 years in training. Yeah. But prior to that, I was an engineer. 16 years as an engineer, working in the manufacturing industries, helping companies to solve a lot of problems. I realized that as an engineer, my main goal is to solve problems, because I'm hired as an engineer to design better products to solve problems, improve the production processes or efficiency or techniques or systems to make things better, so that it can solve more problems, make it faster. Yeah, that's what I do, and I've always been helping companies to save millions and millions of dollars every year. And I find that this is one of the big reasons how I can actually progress very fast. Yeah, these are some of the qualifications that I have as an engineer, and then moving up to be the professional trainer as I am today. So these are some of the companies I have the privilege to be training over the past 11 years now. Yeah, for the past 11 years, I've been helping over 7,000, maybe even more right now, corporate managers and executives to be high performance leaders that are capable to create results and solve problems for the company and the marketplace. Yeah. Great. So let's start. Yes. Okay. So as we continue moving on, I just want to introduce a little bit. Okay, it's very, very important. There are 5 critical skills that we all, as an individual, either you are working or in the business, as a leader, we need to have 5 critical skills. Yeah, what are these 5 skills? I'm going to share with you a framework. Yeah, I hope that you take note. Please write this down. Draw this little chart if you have, so you remind yourself every day from now onwards. Work on these 5, and I promise you, if you work on these 5, you will start to see changes in things you do. Yeah. So what are these 5? Number 1 is leadership skills. Yeah. So leadership skills are very big, but specifically leadership in terms of responsibility and influencing other people to be responsible. Yeah. So it's basically influencing skills. That's number 1. So, and this is what we need to develop ourselves to become a better leader. Take on more responsibility we can, not just only for ourselves, but for other people, because you have to make things happen. And in order to do that, we need a few other skills. Number 2 is problem solving skills, which is about it today. Yeah, today is about problem solving skills. Every leader must know how to solve problems. We as individuals, whether we call ourselves leaders or not, if we are going to help do better in our career, in our workplace, we want to do better in our family, in our personal life, achieve the things we want to achieve, we will sure to face with problems. Yes? Would you agree? Yeah, and this is where problem solving skills comes in. Our ability to solve problems to do it in a better way, a more effective way, will determine the type of success we want to have. Yeah, so that's number 2. Number 3, execution skills. The ability to actually execute. When you have solved problems, you come up with solutions. Can we actually make it happen? Yeah, we can actually talk a good talk about how we can solve problems and this and that. But can we actually make it happen? And this is where the execution skills, having the strategies, the plans, the technique to actually execute and actually get to the results. And that's what we are paid for, right? In the workplace. Yeah, if you're going to work for a company, work for your bosses, right? They are hiring you for a reason. So they hire you for your leadership. They're hiring you for your problem-solving skills. They're hiring you for your execution skills, so you can actually get results for them. True or not? Yes? Agree? Yeah, if you agree, give a thumbs up. Yeah, that's the main thing. If you can do these 3, you will be successful. That's my experience, and that's the promise I can give. And this is where you need to develop yourself constantly. There's two other skills that actually helps to support everything together, because without these two, it's going to be tough as well. Number 4 is communication skills. Your ability to communicate with people, communicate the message across, communicate your solutions, your strategies, and executions, and working with people to get things done. Is where your communication skills comes in. Yeah, 80% of problems that we face today are usually due to communication issues, poor communication, miscommunication, a lot of assumption, for example. Yes, would you agree? True, right? And then finally, collaboration skills. This is where teamwork comes in, working with other people. And there's so much conflicts around the world today. We have wars around the world today. Why? Because people are not willing to collaborate. People are not just willing. It's not about compromising. It's about how can we find a neutral ground where we can actually have win-win. We can work together and not fighting. Yeah, if we keep fighting, we can never get things done. So if you want to make things work, get bigger things, achieve bigger things, achieve bigger results, achieve bigger projects. Yeah, we need to actually collaborate with other people. So these are the 5 skills. There are many other skills, but for me, these 5 skills are the critical skills. If you just imagine, ask yourself, if you don't have any one of these skills, would you be able to get to where you want? Quite challenging, right? Yeah. If you can't collaborate with people, then you'll be doing it on your own. True. Yeah. If you cannot communicate well with people, then it's always a lot of communication breakdown. Yeah. If you cannot solve problems, you cannot get results, don't have to talk anymore. Make sense? Yeah. So these are 5 skills. Remember this framework. It's a leadership development framework for you to constantly build on this day in, day out. And eventually, if you are relatively strong in these 5 areas, you should see results. Yeah. So today is about problem solving. Are you ready? How do we solve problems? Yeah. Great. Let's start. So there are 2 types of problems in the world. Yeah. There are 2 types of problems. Big or small. Big problem or small problems. There are 2 types of problems. Number 1 is a complicated problems, and number 2, a complex problem. So what's the difference? How many of you know what's the difference? Complicated versus complex. Yeah, if you look at this dictionary, you will find a definition. But basically, make it simple is this. Complicated is where you need the knowledge. You need the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, it's easy. Complex is, even though you know the knowledge, but it's difficult because there's all the interaction in between. Give you an example, a straightforward example is this. How many of you know how to solve these Rubik's cubes? How many? Can you solve this? I'm quite sure some of you can do this, right? I can do this. And I find that this is one very interesting skills, basically techniques. Once I have this, then I can impress on people that I know how to do this, right? But then, is it difficult to do? It is difficult if you do not know, right? If I can teach you the techniques, the step-by-step, or the formula to actually make these Rubik's cubes into all 6 equal phase colors, right? Then you will know. Once you know it, you know it. It's just a matter of practice. Once you get and familiarize and ingrain in yourself, sometimes just close your eyes, you just know how to do it. Yeah. And this is where the expert is. It's not difficult. It's difficult at the beginning if you do not know. But once you know it, it's very, very easy. Yeah. This is complicated matters. In other words, just for what other examples, like car mechanics, how the machine works or the car works. These are complicated matters. If you study mechanical engineering or car production or mechanics, then you will know how the car works and it's easy for you, right? How about IT? IT is complicated patterns. Yeah, if you know how to debug the ITs or you know how to set up certain IT infrastructures and hardware, then you become an expert and it's easy for you. Yeah, for people like me who doesn't know, it'll be like, oh, it's mind-boggling. Make sense? Yeah. Complicated is where knowledge comes in. Once you have the knowledge, it's done. Like doctors, this how to have open heart surgery, for example. Yeah, these are all complicated matters. But once you know, even though it's difficult, but it's relatively easy for some people if they're expert. Make sense? But how about complex? What is complex? Complex is a bit different. Complex things could be very easy, but it's become very, very tough and difficult because of the nature of it. Yeah, this is complex matters. For example, sometimes you want to go and get your let's put it straight. I know, the government bureaucracy, yeah, and you just say you want to get your car license renewed or approved, or to get your passport approved. Sometimes going through the government processes is quite tedious, right? It's quite easy if you just walk inside. Technically speaking, it's quite easy. But however, depending on the time, depending on the situation, and depending on the complexity of all the red tapes and procedures and paperwork, it becomes so complex. And it takes so long just to get one thing done. Yeah? The application. How about that? How about there are some system or certain checkpoints in place that you must go through just to get this document to another person. If you can just do it yourself, you will just do it yourself. But you cannot enter this door because you don't have the authority, and you have to pass on to someone else. Then someone else have to pass it on to another person. He's not there or she's not there, and then you wait, ding dong, ding dong. It takes you 3 days just to send a letter or a documentation to them. Yeah. So complex matters are where you involve system, processes, paperwork, and all the red tapes that's involved. Even though it's such a simple manner, but you cannot get it done. Make sense? Whereas complicated matters are difficult things that requires technical know-how, or requires you to have the knowledge to do it. Make sense? Yeah. So you need to recognize both. There's two types of problems, and oftentimes a lot of problems involve both together, combined. Yeah. But which one is the one you find that there's a lot more problems? Which one do you think that is the one that causing you to have more headaches whenever you're trying to deal with problems, deal with the situation, or deal with the issue? Is it the complex matter, or is it the complicated matters? Yeah, would you agree with me? It's complex things, right? It's about dealing with people, and the processes is the one that's headache, right? Yeah. Whereas you're dealing with straightforward matters, like for example, computer. If you don't know how to deal with it, just change certain parts, you're done. Or get a new one, it's done. Or maybe send it to the right technician, he know how to fix the problem, and it's done. Yeah. But sometimes sending the problem with sending a laptop into the technician to fix it, and then you need to first apply or set an appointment, and then you need to go there, wait in queue for 2-3 hours just to meet the technician and pass it to the technician, and then the technician have to give it over there, and these are all the things that make it complex. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So with this, as we know, there's two types of problems. Let's look into the psychology of problem solving. Yeah. In what do we have to be thinking of in order to solve problems? A problem can be simple or difficult. Really depends on how you are dealing with it. Yeah. So I'll begin with this. Yeah. Every problem is an opportunity. How many of you agree that every problem is an opportunity? Yes, everybody heard about this, right? Say, yeah, every problem is an opportunity for us to grow. So you have to take it on, learn, and you can learn. Yes. Yeah. The thing is this: do you see that every problem is an opportunity? Do you really see it? Because if you do, then you'll be like, yeah, give me the problems. I like problems. Give it to me. Yes. How many of you are so happy when you see your problems and you want to just bring it on, because every problem is an opportunity, right? Are you doing that? No, I guess not, right? A lot of people are like, no, I don't want problems. Yes. But true enough, let me check with you. See, if you truly see that every problem is an opportunity, sometimes whenever there's a problem, especially at the workplace where you have to deal with it, then if you deal with it, then it becomes an opportunity for you, especially when nobody wants to do it. Think about it. Yeah, if when nobody dares to do it, and you dare to step up and do it, and that is leadership, by the way. Yeah, you dare to step up and do it, and take care of it, and really solve the problem. Ta-da! It's an opportunity for you. Yes. Yeah. So that's why you need to pick the right problems to solve. Solve problems that is valuable, that really can turn into a big opportunity for you. Yeah. So this is about looking at the problems from different perspectives. Okay, number one, you look at this glass. Now, have you heard of these things? Whether do you see this glass as a half full or half empty? What do you see? Is it half full, or do you see this half empty? How you see it depends on your psychology, how you just perceive it. Yeah. So basically, here I'm talking about whether are you an optimistic person or are you a pessimistic person. If you see the glass as half full, let me say, hey, it's only half full. Great, I still got another half to go. All right. But if you see from a pessimistic angle and say that, hey, the glass is already half filled, still got half empty only. You find that I lost my opportunity, I only left half empty. Yeah, then you see like it's a waste. It's like there's no opportunity. But optimistic person see that, hey, it's only half. I got another half more to go. I still got chance. But as a pessimistic person see, I got half more left, wasted. I don't want. Make sense? So it's a matter of you looking at it from a different perspective. Are you an optimistic person? Are you a pessimistic person? So is there a difference? Let me check with you. If you try to solve a problem, okay, if you're going to solve a problem, if you are coming from a pessimistic thinking, that everything is left half, it's not possible, everything is like difficult, it's not much chance left, people are already doing it, I'm late, people already started, I've started late and everything, you're being pessimistic. Would you be able to solve a problem? Think about this. Would you be able to solve problems if you are a pessimistic person? Chances are 0 to none. Right? Yeah, however, if you are an optimistic person, even though no matter left 80%, 20%, to say it's almost full and left a little bit, and you still see that I still got another 20% more to go. I still got chance. I still can do it. Maybe I can still try it out. And you're optimistic enough to say maybe there's always still a chance. Would you have the opportunity, or would you have the chance to solve it? Yeah, right? Yeah, it's only optimistic person will actually solve it. And again, this is leadership. Yeah? A leader will always think positive, very optimistic of things to happen. Make sense? So if you're going to solve any problems, you must always come from optimistic thinking and not being pessimistic. And if you find yourself being pessimistic, you need to step aside and say, no, okay, come on. What other opportunity? There must be still opportunity somewhere. How do I look for it? Yeah. So let's look at it. How do you view a problem, for example? Okay, if you see a problem as troubles, versus you see a problem as opportunity. Okay, if you see a problem as trouble, how do you feel? Or what do you see? You see risk, right? Okay, when you see things are risky, how does it make you feel? You look at things as risky. How does it make you feel? You feel happy, excited, or what? No, right? You feel fearful, right? Isn't it true? So, oh no, worried, fearful, it's dangerous, better don't do it. Correct? But if you look at the problem, no matter how big it is, and you see opportunity, and just imagine, there's a big problem there. Everybody is fearful and they are all worried. And then you're like, I think I can do this. It's possible. I think I can do this. And all your friends are telling you, no, it's difficult, forget it. And you see it as an opportunity, truly see it as an opportunity. Okay? And what do you see? If you see it as an opportunity, you see it as a reward, right? If you see it as a reward, are you excited? When other people cannot see and you can see, you see that there's a gold nugget there. You'll be excited, right? And when it happens, what happens? Yeah, you'll be excited. And when you're excited, you're going to do it because you see reward. So it's about different perspective. Make sense? Yeah? So I give you an example, okay? How many of you have been heartbroken at least one time in your life? Think back your time. How many have you been heartbroken before? Yes? And when you're heartbroken, at that time, you look at it, oh, it's lost. My girlfriend has just dumped me. My heart's broken. Yeah, or for the girl, my boyfriend has dumped me. My heart's broken. Yes? Yeah, it's like, oh, my whole life is over. There's no point for me to live anymore. Yes. But then how many of you have had that feeling before, even for a small moment of time? But then over time, you just snap it out and you're over, right? It's over and you manage to get over it. True? If you are still alive today, it means you get over it. Yes. So if you get over it, that means you can see it differently and you look at it that, hey, okay, maybe this relationship didn't happen. I thought it was such a nice, my ideal relationship, my dream relationship, right? My dream girl or dream boy. Yeah, but it doesn't happen. So then if you look at it, you say, okay, maybe it's an opportunity for me to find someone else. Maybe there's something that's not so right anyway. It's a blessing in disguise. And you start to tell yourself differently and you start looking from a very optimistic point of view that life is still able to go on. Correct? Yeah. So this is how it works. Yeah. So you start to change. By changing from being pessimistic to optimistic, what do you call this? This is the ability to reframe. Yeah. Your ability to reframe any situation, any problems to become good is where the skill is. Yeah. It's called reframing. For example, look at this little slides here. Yeah. all around looks dark and gloomy, thunderstorm and everything. But you see a little small patch that is bright. That means there is still hope. You can still escape, or you can still find a way to survive, or to make things happen, to actually still create success for yourself. And by just looking at that, hey, there's still hope. Yeah, reframing, very, very important. Yeah. I share with you a little story of mine in the many years ago, about 15 years ago, is it? Let me see. Yeah, I think about 15 years back when I was with Ericsson. Yeah, how many of you have remembered this phone, Ericsson phone? How many of you are as old as I am? And this was the Ericsson phone, right? T28, the model. It's one of the most iconic phone of that time in 1999. Yeah, one of the most iconic phone. How long already? About 13, 15 years. It was one of the most iconic phone. I remember 20 years. Sorry, and I wanted to have this. Yeah. So when I worked with Ericsson, I finally got my job to be Ericsson, and I was the engineer taking care of this model. I was so excited about it. Yeah. What happens is this: very quickly I realized that okay, there's a lot of problems with this phone. It was very nicely designed. However, the design is so complicated that it's so. I mean, it's very nice phone, okay, but it's not as simple as it is in the sense that in terms of production, there's so much problem in the production, causing a lot of failures. There's a lot of failures in the production, and as a result, there's a lot of phones needs to be rejected, and it costs the company a lot of money because they have to rework and reject the disposal. So when I was the engineer, I was asked to solve a lot of problems. The mechanical side, I'm the mechanical engineer, yeah, and I have a lot of seniors who tell me that it's very difficult. They are all trying for 1.5 years, they cannot even solve it. Yeah. And I'm now supposed to take over. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Yeah. But then I was looking at it and saying, hey, how come problems like this cannot be solved? It should be able to solve. And it's been going around for almost 1.5 years. How is it possible? How come nobody else can solve it? While everybody's running away, I look at it and say, it sure can solve. Come on, it's impossible, cannot be solved. And I saw this as an opportunity. When all my seniors and other engineers can't do it, I can do this. I can solve this. And true enough, in a very short 4 to 6 months, I solved a lot of the mechanical issues there is. Yeah, I came up with a report for it and what needs to be done, how to rectify it. Yeah, and because of that, people get to know me more. And my credibility increased as an engineer, and this is how I actually built my career from there. Yeah, makes sense. So your ability to reframe and not run away from problem is where your number one skill is. Yeah. So everything that we try to solve always has a risk. So you have to know how to do calculated risk. Yeah. When it comes to problem solving, you must have the bravery, the courage, right, to take on risks. But of course, you don't simply take risks. You want to take calculated risks. In other words, you see, reframe it, and say that okay, it's possible. And with the skills that you have, with the expertise that you have, and pick up more and to learn along. Yeah. And with the techniques of problem solving I'm going to teach you right now, you should, and you can definitely solve the problems accordingly. Yeah. So now it's problem and solutions. Yes. So whenever there's a problem, you're going to find solutions for this, right? So how many of you here? Let me ask you. How many of you have this thinking that in order to solve a problem, first you must find out the root cause of the problem? Yeah. Yes or not? True. Correct. I agree. As an engineer, I agree. In order to solve a problem, first, number one, you must find out the root cause of the problem. That's what I thought in the beginning. Yeah. And later on, I realized that not necessarily true. You don't really need to. There's other better way. Yeah. Yeah, you can find out the root cause. It still works. Yeah. It still works. It's the old conventional way. And it still works in a lot of technical related, complicated issues which involve technical issues. But if you are dealing with complex issues, when you're dealing with system, processes, and people especially, finding out the root cause is going to be a challenge. Yeah, let me share with you why. Yeah. Root cause analysis. Yeah. So let's talk about 3 basic types of causes. Yeah. Whenever there's a problem, there's always a cause of it. We call it the root cause. Yeah. So 3 types. Number 1 is the physical causes. These are tangible things. Tangible means, for example, materials or items or the equipments that actually fail in some way. As a result of that failure, it causes this problem. Causes production to go down, causes the market, the products to be not done correctly. Yeah. So it's a physical issue because of materials, items, equipments. Make sense? Tangible things you can see. Number 2 is human causes. Human causes, we call this intangible because you can't really see where it is happening, but we know you can actually, it's fluid, yeah? So, for example, people did something wrong or did not do something that is required to be done, yeah? And these human causes typically lead to physical causes as well because they didn't fix the machine correctly, they didn't pack certain things correctly. As a result, the packaging failed, or the product fails, or the processes fail. Yeah, but the root cause of it is because human was the one that didn't do correctly. Make sense? It's number 2. Got it? Yeah. Number 3 is organization causes. And organization here refers to system, processes, policies, guidelines, red tapes, and things like that. That people have to use or to make decision or to get things done. They have to go through these systems. Yeah, and because of these faulty systems, faulty processes, or poor policies or bad policies, for example, it causes to have problems. Make sense? 3 types. Yeah. So let me ask you right now, in your work, and I want you to think about it carefully. Yeah, which of these 3 causes are most likely the main cause of the problem? If I put it into a percentage, how many percent are physical, how many percent of the problems are human causes, and how many percent of it there's organization causes? Total up is 100%, yeah? Which one do you think it is? Yeah, you can guess. You shouldn't be guessing. Look back at your own work. Even back in at home. Which one do you think it is? Yeah. So if you have similar experience as mine, my experience is, even though I'm in the engineering industries, production, mechanical industry was engineering, right? I also realized that even though you are dealing with engineering, mechanical, technical stuff, still human causes are one of the main things, and sometimes organization causes. And human organization are related to human, right? Who manage these systems, processes, and policies? Who creates these system, processes, and policies? Human, right? So 2 and 3 humans, and 2 are directly human. 3 organizations are indirectly due to human. So if you combine together, I would say easily 80% of the problems are usually due to humans. Would you agree? Do you have similar experience? Yeah. If you have similar experience, means I'm not talking about everybody. Some people who are into design, engineering, purely design of cars and everything, then purely physical. Yeah. So, but majority, I would say, on overall, majority of people experience, as I've been training for the past 11 years, asking the same question like now. Most of them say it's due to human and organization. Combining these 2 together is about 80% at least. Yeah. Okay, now let me ask you, if the root cause is human, right, then where is my finger going to be pointed to? You and the people, right? And just say, if people are pointing fingers at you and blaming that you are the cause of it, would you tell people the whole truth and nothing but truth, that I'm at fault and I didn't do this correctly, and because it's things I didn't put it correctly, right? So this is where the challenge is. Most people would not tell the whole thing, or maybe they don't even know that they are the cause of it. Yeah, and because they never follow the SOP, the standard operating procedures correctly, they never follow the guidelines, operate the system correctly, or operate the machinery correctly, or never really strap or pack correctly. So many things can happen because of human. Yeah. So if root cause if you based on root cause, most of the time, 80% of the time are because of human. So if you're going to always pinpoint human, it's going to be a challenge. Yeah. So that's the reason why I think the complex issue, root cause analysis may not be the best way. So I'm going to share with you a different way. Yeah. In this case, we don't look into the problems. We know there's problems are usually got to do with human. Instead of blaming human or their attitude or their behaviors, which always happen in a lot of companies, people are not good, they've never been trained, always about people. How about we find out solutions? How can we overcome humans' inefficiency? How can we overcome human factor? Because humans, as we are not perfect, we cannot be perfect like machines. But how can we overcome through solutions? Make sense? Yeah. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you, this thing called solution focus approach. Hence the title of this program is solution focus problem solving, right? So solution focus is an approach that if you use this, I'm going to share with you a framework in a while. If you use this framework, follow certain techniques, I am pretty sure I will even like to guarantee if you allow me, I will guarantee that you will be a better problem solver. And you follow this correctly, you can get things done much better. Yeah. And that's how I solve problems, millions of ringgit, dollars for my company in the past. Yeah. So focus. So what is solution focus first? Let me introduce to you. Okay. Solution focus has a few principles and guidelines. Okay. Number one, okay, we are positive thinkers. We based on positive psychology. That means we always think about things are possible. There's a lot of hopes that it's possible. When you think positive, a lot of things is possible, even though you find that it's difficult. Yeah. Hence, we are very good at reframing and say that, yeah, even though it looks difficult, looks like it's terrible, but let's be positive. No, there must be a way. There will always be a way. Yeah. For me, when I solve problems, one of my principal thought is that there's no problem that cannot be solved. Every problem must have a solution. Our job, or my job, is just to find that. In order to find that or create that solution, number one, you must be think positive. Yeah. Number two, we are very objective driven. Objective in the sense that we ask this question: what do we want? What does the client want? What do you want to achieve? So the question: what do you want? What do we really want to achieve? Yeah. Yeah. Number three, we based on strengths. We understand strengths. People have strengths and weaknesses. In the area of our strengths, we are very good at what we're doing. We are the most resourceful. We are the most genius. We are the most optimistic. We are the most excited. We can do a lot of things when we're in the area of our strength. But in the opposite direction, in the area of our weaknesses, we are fearful. We are worried. We run away. We cannot handle it. We don't even know how to learn. We can't even learn. They find it difficult to learn. Make sense? So we always tap on people's strengths, and every one of us, everybody has different strengths. How do we leverage on each other's strengths is where the skill is. Yeah. So even for me, how do I find out my strengths so I can play to my strengths more and not work on my weaknesses all the time? Yeah. We are solution focused. Solution focused means instead of looking at the problems, we start looking at the solutions very, very quickly. We don't want to look into why is it happening, root cause analysis, how come. We don't ask that questions. In fact, ask good questions and say that, okay, we know there's a problem, we acknowledge it. Okay, now how can we move forward? What can we do right now to start to solve the problem? What are things that we want? What are some of the progress that we have? What works in the past? We start asking very, very good questions, which I'll share with you in a short while. And finally, is we believe in building relationships because we work at human, especially with human. Dealing with humans and building relationships is very important because if we don't have relationship, you're going to have a lot of resistance. Correct? Because if I know you well enough, all I need to do is just one phone call away and call you, hey brother, or hey man, can you help me first? I need some help. Can you give me some advice? And you are most likely going to advise or help me out because of our relationship, our friendship. But if you and me don't really know each other, and I call you for help, you'll be like, who are you? And then you say, no, I'm not free because you're busy with your own things, which is your focus, and no time for me. Make sense? Yeah. So this is what works, okay? Solution focus. And why do all these things? Why using solution focus approach? Because how many of you here would like to be resourceful? Okay, you want to be resourceful. So it's about resourcefulness, right? It's about your resourcefulness. If you are resourceful, everything have better chances. Yeah, you may not have all the answers, but if you are resourceful enough, you know where to get answers. You know how to find people for help. You know how to get in touch, get the right things to be done, and connect and bring in the resources. Then you can get other things done. Yeah. So for us as a leader, sometimes it's impossible for us to know everything. But if we are resourceful enough, we know how to ask the right questions. We know how to we have a lot of a good collaboration with people and connection and relationship. We know how to get in touch with people, and this is how we get things done very, very quickly. Make sense? So being resourceful is where solution-focused approach comes in. Yeah. So now let's get on to business. Yeah. There's three key principles that I want you to know. Okay. The simplicity of solution-focused is based on these three principles, which I like the most. In fact, if you just remember these three, and if you just understand these three, and if you just study these three key principles, you will know how to solve a lot of problems. Seriously, yeah. Of course, not so simple, but the concept, the principle of it, yeah. So what is it? Number one, don't fix what isn't broken. Okay, if things are running very well, things are doing very well, systems are doing well, you close your eyes and you can still do it by yourself, no worries, and people get you do certain things, no problem, just bring it to me, you can close your eyes and you just do it easily, means it's working very well. Yes, if it's working so well, don't simply fix it and change it just for the fun of it because you want to get some new system to come in. You put in some new system, you change certain approach and techniques, most of the time you will see what new problems going to come out, right? And you have to deal with it, right? So some people don't like to change. Yeah, because why? Things are running well. Don't mess with it. Yeah. Okay, the thing is this, don't fix what isn't broken doesn't mean that you don't innovate. It just means that, to me, is that if you find things are working very well, I want you to start to get curious and apply principle number 2. Yeah, principle number 2 is this: if it's not broken, it's doing so well, it's running so well, so perfectly, yeah, or it looks so perfectly, right? Ask this question: what is it working? What is it about it that's working so well right now? Find out what really works about the system or about this equipment. Find out what works. Okay, if you know what works, can you do more of it? Can you find out what works? Can you apply it somewhere else and do more of it? Okay, if you are doing it and other people are not doing it, can you get other people to do more of what you do? And then this is how we duplicate the success, right? Very quickly, because the technique's already there, the system's already there. It's a working solutions. Yeah. If things are not broken, it's working very well, means solutions are working right now. Does it make sense? The working is working right now. If you know what works, do more of it. So the key here is this: number 2, take out a torchlight or put on a magnifying glass and go around, find out what works. If it's working, then become curious and say, how can I use this somewhere else? How can I use this? How can I get other people to do this as well? Because it has proven to work. Make sense? Yeah. So number 3 is this: if it doesn't work, stop doing what doesn't work. Do something else. Change. Yeah. How many of you have heard of this quote by Albert Einstein? Insanity. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's insane, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, you're crazy if you keep doing that. Some people say, I keep trying. Maybe it will change. Keep trying. No, you try 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. If you find that it's always having the same results, doing 3 times, having 3 wrong results, then time to change. Don't have to keep doing it, because don't expect it to change by trying again. Yeah. So that's number 3. Stop doing what doesn't work and do something else. Okay, but that's the twist. What I realize is this. Back to number 2. If it is working well, it means doing it over and over again, you will get the same results. Means what? Then you can do it again. You can use it again. Principle number 2 becomes so important. If you find something that works very well, then the question you need to ask yourself and be curious is that, how can I use this and apply it somewhere else? Maybe make some little modification, change it to apply to a different situation, but using the same principle. Because it works here, that means you can confidently say it works. Maybe you reuse it somewhere else. And this is where you get the most solutions, by observing all these things. You don't have to be too smart. You just have to be very, very keen observer. Make sense? You get me? Yeah. So remember this 3. Yeah. As we go on this, I'm going to share with you some other more important things. Yeah. Some fundamentals of solution-focused approach that we also need to pay attention. Yeah. To expand our resourcefulness. So these are 7 fundamentals, or another word we call presupposition. Okay, it's very big word, presupposition. Let's call it fundamentals. Yeah, the fundamentals of solution-focused approach. There's 7 here. I want you to take a look, take a screenshot if you have to. Okay, read through it quickly. Again, give you just 2 minutes. Yeah, or 1 minute to 2 minutes. Just run through. Yeah, and see for yourself whether what works. How about this? I think I'll just go through it quickly. Yeah. Okay, number 1, change is inevitable and happening all the time. Just like things are always changing. You see it. People say the only thing that is constant is change, because change is always happening. Last year and this year, things have changed. Today and tomorrow, things have changed. Change is always happening. Yeah. And people say, oh, don't change so much because every time you change, you have to keep innovating, blah, blah. No, the thing is this, it's going to change anyway. So our job to be optimistic about changes is that, okay, how do we make the best out of the change? So our job is to identify what are those useful change and amplify it more. So, okay, these are some of the changes we can make use of, we can leverage on, do more of it. Right? Number two, there's no one right way of looking at things. Yeah, there's always different way of looking at things. My way of looking at things and your way could be different, right? Another third party could be different. Another friend could be different. And 5 people could be different. Maybe the fifth one and me and him is the same. Fourth person and you are the same. So sometimes we have 2 groupings, or sometimes we have 3 groupings. Sometimes we have multiple groupings. But everybody sees things differently. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that my way is better than yours. Your way is better than me. In my experience, mine is better. In your ways, in your experience, yours is better. It's okay. As a problem solver, for me, I don't care. As long as I want to know, the more options, the better. Means to know that if mine doesn't work so well, I can try yours. Yours doesn't work so well, I can try this. If yours works more, you do more of yours. Make sense? So we're going to have more options, because depending on different situation, different options, different techniques may work well. It doesn't really matter. Some people have different preference. Use whatever you can, get the job done, solve the problem. That's my main thing. Yeah. Number 3, problems and solutions may not always be directly related. Yeah, this is what I talk about. Problems and solutions are not always directly related. Yeah, for example, I ask you, when you drive a car and you have a tire puncture, do you really go and figure out why is that why the tire is why the tire is punctured? Where is it? What happens? Is it a nail or something else? Or did I hit something sharp? What is the thing? You don't really think too much, right? Yeah. All you need to do is just take out the trunk, open up, change the tire. Ta-da, it's done. Your PC, your notebook, or your computer got hanged, your crash. What do? Do you think too much about why is it crashing? What could be the problem? Maybe it's the chip, maybe it's the motherboard, maybe it's this, maybe it's the button, maybe it's the electricity. You don't think too much, right? All you do is that you press reset, restart the whole thing. Ta-da, it's okay. Sometimes, even though you know the root cause, so what? You can't really do anything. We always find an alternative, the best way to do. So sometimes the solutions that we come up with may not necessarily from the root cause itself. Yeah. So detailed understanding of the problem is not really that useful. It's good, but it's not so useful sometimes. Most of the time, not sometimes. Yeah. No problems happen all the time. Yeah. Problems don't happen all the time. The key here is solution focus. That when that problem doesn't happen, means what? What has happened that caused the problem to not happen so much? That means there's an exception. Something has happened that caused the problem to not happen so much. So what happened? I'm very curious to know what has happened then. If I know what has happened that caused the problem to be lesser of, maybe that's the solution, right? So we are into the inspector to find out what is that exception. Yeah. Number 5, I like this very much. Clues to the solutions are right in front of us. I believe this. If you take the magnifying glass and you always have a keen eye and find out what works, if you just go and find out what works, you will recognize them. If you are on the torchlight and search out for things that work, you will find them. But the problem is this: we are so good at finding things that doesn't work. We are so good at picking up problems, but we are not so good at picking up solutions. But solutions are happening in front of us all the time. Yeah, small change in the right directions can lead to big changes. Yeah, sometimes you start small, and you can just escalate up with the momentum. You get bigger and bigger change. Yeah, so sometimes you have to think about what are the big steps. Start doing small steps. Start now, and eventually you're going to start build on it. Yeah. Then it's important to stay focused and not being solution forced. That means emotion. We have to take care of emotion. Emotion is one thing that's part of every challenges. Sometimes the emotion that we have, it causes us to not think very well or not so smart anymore. Yeah. So these are 7 fundamentals. You like it? I like all the 7. I think it gives me a reference on how do I deal with things. If you follow all these 7 while you're problem solving, right, it's so much easier. Yeah, don't have to argue. Okay, now I'm going to jump to this focus model for you. Okay, these are the 5 steps for you to solve a problem, any problem. Okay, majority of the problem may not be all. But for me, I think it's all. Yeah, but majority of it you can use this. Yeah, especially when you're dealing with complex issue, together with complicated issue. Complicated issue, you can learn about it, apply this a little bit. It's much easier. Okay, I'll start off with preferred future. Everybody have a preferred future. Preferred future means things that you want. What do you want? Everybody prefer to have something that you want. Your hopes and dreams, what you hope that this problem will solve for you. If you are not the goals, in other words. Yeah, and then from here you're going to move on to, once you know what you want, you're going to look at what you have, uncover opportunities. We all have all the resources in our hands right now. I believe that. Yeah, if it's not enough, we have people around us, maybe your connections. This is where being resourceful becomes important. Yeah, you can actually uncover a lot of opportunities by looking out around you, because the clues to the solutions are already right in front. Yeah, and then from there you move on to utmost useful. Okay, once you have uncovered all the opportunities, you want to be able to pick and decide what is the most useful to do right now. It's all about matter of time, because we only have 24 hours, 7 days, and 365 days a year. Everybody have the same amount of time, and we can never do everything. Okay, if you have a lot of people, a lot of big teams, you can do a lot more, but we still can never do everything. So our ability to actually decide on what's most important to do and most useful at the time is the key. And then once you decide what you want to do, then you start to implement the strategies by keep it simple, doing the necessary steps of actions and plan and strategies. Okay, and then right in the middle is control, taking control all the time, being in control of your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own intellectual knowledge. Being responsible is one of them. Okay, so that you are the leader and you know how to go around getting things done. So focus stands for FOCUS, stands for future, opportunity. C is the control. U is the usefulness of the things, and strategy. Yeah, this is a framework. Remember this framework as you go through solving problems. So I'll start off with the preferred future. Yeah. So what's preferred future? So as the name in solution focus, we call preferred future. Okay, there's a good reason for this, because everybody has hopes and dreams. Everybody has a future that they prefer to have. What I prefer and what you prefer is different, but everybody has a preference. Yeah, and in very simple words, it could be goals. I want to climb up to this mountain. To you, is that this mountain is not important for me. Yeah, but regardless, it's basically like a goals. Goals is where you have a plan. Yeah, but everybody have a preferred goals. Yeah. So why we talk about preferred future? Because we talk about positive psychology early on, right? Okay, everybody has hopes and dreams. In every problems that we're trying to solve, we are all hoping to get to a level or solutions that we want, or get to the stage where we are able to overcome a problem. Why? There must be a good reason for overcoming this problem. If there's no reason for it, then why we will just forget about this issue? Why even bother, right? But if we are going to solve any problems, there's always a hope behind it. Right behind the problems, there's something that we hope. So regardless how big the problem is, having this hope, being positive in a way of thinking, knowing that we need to solve these things because we have this preferred goal or preferred future. Yeah, there's this hope. Why hope is important? Because depending on how big the problem is, with hope gives us this thing called possibilities, right? If you don't have hope, no possibilities. But you want to stay hopeful, right? That means, it's possible. I know it can be done. Even though sometimes in a way very difficult, looks like it's impossible. But if I have this hope that no, I will find a way. When I start thinking I will find a way, I can find a way, I will find a way, right? The possibilities of finding a solution becomes more real. Yeah. And with that, you can actually have a solution. Yeah. So it's a very, very psychological mindset thing when you try and solve a problem. Yeah. So preferred future is first you need to be very clear on what you really want. Yeah. What you hope to achieve. You need to have that. Yeah. Because you find that whatever you hope to achieve cannot be achieved, it's going to be difficult. Right? So it's very simple. So number one, have the clarity to know exactly what you want. Ask yourself constantly, what do I want to solve this problem for? Why is it important for me to solve this problem? Is it important to do it? If it's important, okay, that's the preferred future. Yeah, as simple as that. So once you know exactly what you want, then you move on to finding out solutions. This is where you start to uncover opportunities. Okay, uncovering opportunities is looking back into your own thing and say, what is it that I have right now? Okay, we all have all the resources we have. Okay, in terms of knowledge, skills, strengths, resources that we have, the relationship that we have, the system that we have, whatever it is, the vehicle that we have, the company that we have. We all have this. So how do you do this? Is that use a torchlight. Okay, from now onwards, when you're uncovering opportunities, is that you start using a torchlight and start looking for clues to the solution. Start looking for clues, because there are clues all over. How do you do this? Is this, let's say I use a simple scaling techniques. I'll come back to this. For example, on a scale of 0 to 10, how do you use this? For example, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 means achieving, reaching to the goal that you want. 10 means you get to that. 1 is still very far away. That means you haven't even started. Okay, we want to look for people who have done that before. Okay, is there anybody have done it before? Or maybe you look back at myself and say, where am I right now? I'm actually an X at this moment. Okay, an X. Okay, X means, okay, this is where I am right now. That means, number one, I need to determine for myself what's working right now. What have I done to get to X? What have I done to get to X? Okay, this is what I've done. I'm at X right now because I did this, I did this, I did this. And this is where solutions already happening right now. That means things I know what to do. It's already have the solutions. And I want you to establish this part because you want to know exactly how did you get to X. Sure, X is the current position right now, where you are right now. Okay, so if you know how to get to X, let's, for example, I'm doing A, B, C, so I get to X. I'm doing D and F, I get to X. So if you know this, that means you can always get back to X. Make sense? Let's say if I'm not at X, but I found someone else who is at X. Let's say my colleagues is at X. I'm below X here. I'm actually right below here. Okay, and someone is in front of me. Okay, just give a number. Okay, just say X is 5. Okay, I'm at 3 out of the scale of 1 to 10, right? Just say my friend Andy is at 5, and I'm at 3. So I want to find out from Andy. Hey, Andy, how do you do this? How do you get to where you are? I'm only at 3. You're at 5. Can you share with me what you do? And comparing notes with him, maybe I'm not doing certain things that he's doing. That's why I'm at 3. So if I do exactly what he did, do you think it's possible for me to be at 5 as well? You can, right? That's why looking at the clues, find out people who is doing it, or look around and see what is working right now, who is doing it correctly, what equipment can do it a better job. There's a lot of things. Which system is better to implement? Maybe we can adopt a different system from someone else. Maybe instead of using an Excel spreadsheet, we use a different type of spreadsheet, different type of techniques, whatever it is. We can always learn from other people who is really doing it better. And this is where finding out what works right now is really working, and how can I do more. Just say, if this turn around, if I am at 5 and my friend Andy is at 3, I can now teach Andy how to get to 5. Yes? So number one, take out a torchlight and go around and search what is working right now. How can I make use of what's really working right now? That's the fastest way to find a solution. That's the fastest way to solve a problem. Don't have to figure out too much. You have to figure out, but you figure out what works there. So search and figure out what works. So number 2 is this, exception. Exception is that occasionally, say I'm at 5 right now. Say X is 5. X is 5. I'm at 5 right now, and occasionally I found myself at 6. Say E is 6. So occasionally I'm higher, but not all the time. Sometimes I'm higher, sometimes I'm not. I'm always at 5. So occasionally I can get myself to 6. Maybe even more, 6.5, but not all the time. This is what I call exception. So occasionally you can do it, sometimes not. So now you need to get curious. Some research, how come I can do, sometimes I cannot? So the question now is saying, not say how come I can, I cannot. This is a very different question. The question to ask is, how come I can get to 6 at that time? What am I doing differently at that time that I'm not doing now? Okay? Or if everybody is at 5, and then sometimes I see Andy can go up to 6 and 7, I will ask Andy, hey Andy, how come you sometimes can go to 6? I don't know, I'm not really sure. But you get to 6, right? So what did you do differently that get you to 6? And if you really study this because sometimes we are not even aware. Is it possible that there may be something that you do differently, that's why you get to 6? This is called exception, right? So look at our torchlight and find out, hey, what do you do differently? How come you're at 6 now? Hey, you're at 6 today, right? How come what are you doing differently? I don't know. It must be something. Think about it. Just study. As you study and discuss about it, maybe you'll find that this extra nugget, and this is what we call exception. And these exceptions are actually the key to new solutions that move you up another step. All right. This 1 and 2 is what, for me, is my experience, the fastest way for you to solve any problem. Yeah. And only when you have exhausted 1 and 2, then you can start thinking about new possible solutions. Okay. Number 3 is that future possibilities. Maybe solutions that we might work. Maybe can do this. Maybe that there's a lot of maybes. Big question mark. We are not sure. Yeah. So we are not sure. We can try and error. Just test it out and you can do it this one. Yeah. But I would say, instead of, a lot of people, in my experience, always jump to number 3. What to do? Let's brainstorm new ideas. Let's brainstorm this, brainstorm that. I would say, don't brainstorm something that is not sure, big question mark with maybe. Start with what was working right now. Instead, you brainstorm and say, hey, not brainstorm. Try to identify what has worked in the past that we can make use of it again. What has worked in the past that we can maybe do more of it. Who else is doing something that is different? Let's look at each other. What are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? Let's compare notes. Maybe we are doing things differently. But when we compare notes together with the notes and experience that we have, we can actually move up another step or two. Make sense? So the 1 and 2 becomes a very powerful solution builder. Yeah. 3 is just a possibility. Make sense? So 3 is for innovation, things we have never touched before, to a place that we have never have any clues how to do. Then you test it out. New innovation products and services that nobody has ever done before. Then number 3. Make sense? Learn something? So uncovering opportunities, part 2 here is one of the biggest part on problem solving. A lot of thinking, a lot of discussion, a lot of curiosity involved in order for you to start to figure out. The key is this. Take out the torchlight and start looking for all the clues. Be very curious. What works? And how can you do more of it? Principle number 2. What works? How can we do more of it? Find out what works and do more of it. Make sense? Okay? Yeah. So if I go back to here, because to X, for example, if you can identify what's working right now and what's already accomplished, isn't that building confidence? If you know exactly how to get to X, you build so confident, right? You can always get back to X. You can now be a teacher or a mentor or a coach to someone else who doesn't know how to do, and you can teach them easily. Yeah. So X is where you are right now, and how do you move with small steps, taking small steps, and moving forward. All right. So take note of this. This is a very, very powerful slides. Okay. Take note of this. Learn this. Figure out. Study what I've just said. Look through the whole video again and try to understand this. If you can pick this up, this is one of the most important slides. Okay, for you to uncover more opportunities. Okay. Once you have this, I want you to look. It's about being appreciative of people's talents and strengths and everything, and finding differences. Okay. So now, the opportunities here is looking at find out what's working, because what's working means solutions already happening. If you go around looking for what's working, means you're already finding out solutions are already working right now. You know you can use it more. Exceptions are keys to solutions, because when that happens, sometimes not. How can you do more of these exceptions, and then you go up another step? Yeah? There's also strengths, know-how, experience. How do you find out more strengths? People's strengths and know-how and experience helps. Some people may have different strengths and know-hows and experience compared to mine. Because of that, he's at 6 compared to me at 4 on the scale. Make sense? Compared to another junior of mine, maybe he's at 1. Now we all can actually leverage each other strengths and know-how. Know-how means knowledge and skills and experience. Sometimes resources and relationships is very important because of the connection that I have, the resources that I have. Sometimes it's just a phone call away, I can get things done because I know them well. Yeah, so building relationship is very, very important. Yeah, expanding your network to have more resources is very important. Sometimes it's just a matter of I don't know what to do, but I just step into my network and say, "Hey guys, I got this issue. Do you know how to? Anyone here knows how to solve it? Anybody have any experience?" And for all you know, they say, "Yeah, I know. It's simple. You go to this, go to that, or do this, do that." I have somebody can recommend to you. Ta-da! That's all. Yeah. So become a problem solver. You want to be able to have all these four. All right. Yeah. So it's a matter of art of asking questions. Yeah. So I give you some very simple questions to go through. So uncovering opportunities, you say, what's going on well currently? What is better since the last time? Okay. When does the preferred future happen? Even for a little bit. What has worked before in the past that are useful right now? What is best? What is the best that we have ever done or did at this thing or situation? Yeah, and then you continue asking, what did we do? Once you found some little nuggets, right? So what did we do? How did we do it? What else did we do? How come? How else? And you start to dig and dig and dig, go down and figure out what works. Yeah. For exception, you can ask questions like, when did we not experience this problem or less of it? Or you can ask, was there a time when the problem didn't happen at all? Because when the problem didn't happen at all, what happened then? Be very curious and find out what has actually contributed to these lesser problems. Yeah. When was the problem not so bad? Yeah. When the problem is not so bad, what happened then? Yeah. Being curious. Yeah. What exactly was different about that time? And then once you get to the nugget, the potential of a solution, ask question, what did we do then? How did we do it? What else? How else? And we start to dig. Yeah. On strengths and know-how. Yeah. How far have we managed to get? How have we managed to get this far? Yeah. Yeah, we seems to be struggling, right? But how did we get so far? Despite all the struggles and we have. Yeah. How have we been successful in handling this situation? Yeah, when have we been successful in handling this situation? Okay. How have we or you been able to cope this far? Some people say, I'm so difficult. I'm having challenges. I'm going to have a lot of trouble. I'm going to quit, but still never quit after 2-3 years, right? So that means how did he able to cope? Because coping is a strength. Somebody has certain strengths on how to do it. If you can learn from that person certain techniques, or maybe how he handles their psychology or their stress, maybe we can also do as well. Yes. Yeah. What have we been doing to prevent matters from being even worse? Yeah, it could be a strength. Yeah, we're able to handle that. And what have we done in the past that might help now? What did we do? How did we do? What else? How else? And we keep digging. Yeah, got it? Relationship. What resources do we have that can help? Who can we rely on for support to help in this situation? Okay. Who or what can we leverage on to make things easier for us? Yeah. Who may have similar experience that we can learn from or get advice from? Yeah. Who would have a different perspective on this? Because learning different perspective may actually help us to uncover opportunities. So having good resources in your fingertips, the most the better. Yeah, especially those experts, right? And build that relationship so that you're just one phone call away and you say, hey, brother, hey, my friend, can you just help me? And they will help you so much easier. Yeah. So problem solver are also someone who can actually help other people and build a relationship. Yeah. Okay. And ask who else, what else, how can you leverage on it more? Got it? Yeah. So how we ask this question is very powerful. And how can we ask specific questions? Because the question that we ask correctly or ask better will determine the type of answers and outcome that we want. All right. Yeah. It's a solution-focused collaborative approach, build relationship or expect resistance. Yeah. So basically find out what works, do more of it, find out what's the root cause to success. Yeah. And then find out possibilities in the past, present, and future. All right. So I spent quite some time here, right? So now let's go into the third one, taking control. Okay. Taking control is where leadership comes in. It's about our emotions and everything. Yeah. Because whenever there's a problem that happens, how are we going to deal with it in our psychology? How do we deal with it? How do we handle it? Is where it matters. Yeah. So I like to ask myself this question: am I the problem? Because how you're going to deal with the problem really depends on how you're going to how are you going to face the problem? Yeah, how you think, how you're going to face it. Yeah. So for example, I look at this. We have I use back this example as pandemic. Yeah, the COVID pandemic. We have just went past. Yes, it was a crisis. Do you remember how people deal with the crisis then? Yeah, how do we deal with it? Or maybe even some problems at work, small problems at work. How do people deal with it? Yeah, from big and small. So we have to ask ourselves, what are some of the behaviors during crisis or problems, crisis, could be big problems, yeah. And some of the behaviors we have during problems, when you're facing a problems. Yeah. So there's some of these behaviors that we have. I'm going to run through with you. So number one, some people will just go into denial. They say, "What problem? There's no problem. No, it's not a problem." No matter it's such a big problem right in front of them, they're like, "No, it's not a problem." They're just in total denial. They just don't want to accept it. Have you met people like this before? Do you know people who are like this? Are you one of them? I'm just joking. So some people are in denial. They say that, just let it be. Tomorrow it'll be gone. No, sometimes it won't. Yeah. So these are the phases that we all go through. That after denial, people start to blame. Have you seen people blaming each other during a problem? A lot of argument. It's your fault, my fault. It's other people's fault. They never follow this. Never follow this. A lot of finger pointing, right? And when the finger pointing, point, and it goes to the point that everybody also still at fault, and people start to justify why they cannot do this, why they are not to be blamed. People start to justify for why they cannot do that. Yeah, that means it's their fault, it's my fault, but it's not entirely my fault because you are also never do your part. The system is not very fair, or the system is not good enough. Yeah, or the team is not ready. I haven't learned enough. I don't have the experience. All kind of justification. Yeah, and sometimes after all the blaming and justification, someone just give up. Say, no, I give up. I cannot do this. Yeah. So there's many behaviors. People start with denial, then they go to blame, they go to justify, and they go to maybe even quit. Yeah. But if you're going to solve any problems, can you, if you are in denial, blaming mode, justifying all the time, and giving up or threaten to give up, will you solve any problem? We won't, right? So we shouldn't be here. We need to rise above these things. The only way to rise above this is be responsible. So if you're going to solve any problem, we need to be responsible, and this calls for leadership. Only leaders, those who are willing to be leaders, are responsible. Is it true? You agree? Those who are willing to be responsible are leaders, and only leaders are willing to be responsible. So that's why in problem solving, people who are willing to solve problems are usually people who have leadership capabilities, yeah, and they are willing to become leaders. So we don't want to be here. We want to very quickly go up. In fact, we just don't want to just be responsible, but we want to take charge. We want to be accountable for the whole situation. So if you find yourself giving blame, justifying, complaining, giving excuses, yeah, or in denial mode, don't even know, just close your eyes and close down, put your head into the head and just don't want to care and give up, right? These are not leadership capabilities. I want you to take control, taking charge. If you will only solve problems when you take charge of that problem. Yeah, just like me with the Ericsson phone, everybody's running away. I say, no, I'll bring it on, give it to me. I will solve that. Okay, leave it. I will take it on my own capability to solve it. Make sense? Yeah. Right. So it's about managing emotions, because right at this point on the denial, blame, justifying, give us a lot of emotions. People are a lot of fear and anxiety or worry and worried about being put to blame. So there's a lot of emotion, and we have to handle all this emotion. You know, the little ones that we have, we talk to ourselves, the angels and demons we talk about. Yeah, we need to handle that, because they are the one that are telling us what to do, and we if you don't handle it correctly, we will not take up responsibility and even take in charge. You end up blaming and justifying. All right? Yeah. So what's the difference here? When your emotions are high, what happens? Your intelligence are low, right? So one of the things you need to be in control of all the time is your emotion, because when your emotions are high and you don't take care of it, you will always be blaming, justifying, going to denial, quitting, and don't want to do anything. And don't want to take up responsibility, because why? No, technically speaking, intellectually, you know that you should take responsibility, but you're not, because of the high emotion. So the key here is this: always learn to manage the emotion. Yeah, because just remember this little formula or this little chart that I like very much as well. I always remember this: high emotion, low intelligence. High emotion, low intelligence. Whenever I find myself getting fearful or angry or frustrated, and I find that my emotions are high, right? I always try to snap aside and say, okay, high emotion, low intelligence. Don't make decisions during this time. Walk away. Okay, leave it be. Come back tomorrow. Deal with the problem tomorrow. Don't get into this situation of high emotion, because why? you will say wrong things. How many of you have said wrong things in the heat of the moment and then you regret it? Yeah. How many have done something in the heat of the moment, being frustrated and angry, and you regret it? Maybe punch somebody, for example, right? So you want to handle that. So taking charge of your own psychology, thoughts, and emotions is very important. Yeah, taking charge, taking control is the key. So there's a lot of assumption being played out as well when you are highly emotional. I think it should be this, I should be that. A lot of things. You want to be very careful. Assumption is one of the things that is the biggest blunders leaders make when they're trying to solve problems. Because when you're trying to solve problems, never assume. Because a lot of assumptions are because of emotion based, and they're not very sure, but they assume it's true, and they make wrong decision based on that. Yeah. So as a result, every assumption needs to be verified. If you think that you're not very sure, verify your assumptions so that it's no longer an assumption. Okay? Because assumptions are leadership quicksand. Yeah. One of the biggest failure or blunders the leaders makes are because of assumption, either through the communication or the way they think. They never clarify. They never find out what really works. They just think it should be this way. It should be that way. These are all assumptions. The little, the angels and demons, the little voice you have inside, the emotions that you have, you want to control. All right. So the key is to manage your little voice, whatever is inside your head. Yeah, and really make sure it's facts and not what you think it is. Have facts and back up. So do your research, find out facts to back you up so that you know. Always in control of that situation. Yeah. So it's so important. Yeah, this is right in the middle. So how do you do this? Yeah, how do you have in control? So always be very curious. So the best easy way is this: manage your emotion. Yeah, and then always think this way. Come from beginner's mind. Be curious. Always be curious. Whatever happens, why is it happening? How come it's happening? How can I have facts to back it up? How can I verify that it's true? Whatever they say, I'm not going to buy it immediately. Justify for me, or I'm going to double check it, making sure that everything are facts and it's not some assumption. So like just like a baby's or a kid's mind, they always ask why. I don't understand. That's why they're always asking a lot, why? So we ask why for understanding. We come from very curious beginner's mind and say that I'm not sure I understand it correctly. How does that work? Even though you may know, but you want to step back and assume, put yourself as a beginner, put yourself as the baby's or the kid's mind, and just ask and verify whether your understanding and that person's understanding is correct. If you can come from a very, very curious mindset, a very beginner's mindset, and clarify a lot of things, you will find that there's a lot of solutions during the discussion that will actually help you make the best decision and to get the solution that you want. Right? There's a very, very nice quote from this Shunryu Suzuki. Yeah, he said this: in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few. If you think that you are an expert, you sometimes say, "I know best." This I know it because I've done it before, and you think that you're the best, you're the expert. There's only a few possibilities, but is it possible? There's many other possibilities. There are, right? So sometimes it's good to come from a beginner's mind and learn, check from other people, and see how they're doing it. Remember, there are many different possibilities of solving problems. I want to find out more, and then I can then make the best decision which to use at the point in time. Okay, so always take in control. These key things. Yeah, my idols on social media. I like his quote: "You can have results or excuses, never both." Yeah, if you want results, or you have excuses, or there's never both. So in other words, you find yourself blaming, denial, justifying, giving a lot of excuses around all these things like quitting and things like that because whatever you justify and blame means you don't get the results, right? I would say keep quiet, shut up, take responsibility, and get the things done. So the only way to do is step up, take responsibility, and you will get the results. But if you're not willing to step up and give extra excuses, then you are not a very good problem solver. Make sense? Yeah, I hope you get this. Yeah, you get it? Give me a high five for that if you agree. Yes. Yeah, this is all. This one requires you to step up and become a leader. Yeah, only leaders make things happen. Okay, once you have uncovered a lot of opportunities, then you have a lot of possible, after all the questions about what's working, the exception, all the strengths, know-how, and resources that you have, and you have all the possible solutions that is working. You know it's been working. What works, right? And you want to do more of it, yes? And this is where so many you may find out which one will be the one that can most useful right now. Decide on the one that can give you the result right now. Yeah. So this is where your decision comes in. Yeah. According to the 80-20 rule, have you heard of this thing called the Pareto principle? 80-20 rule. Yeah. Yeah. Pareto principle says, Wilfredo Pareto. Yeah. It says this that 20% of the effort in most of the things that we do can create 80% of the results. And the truth could be the same opposite. Sometimes you put in 80% of efforts, create only 20% of the results, which is very inefficient. Yeah. So we need to actually identify what are the things that will actually generate us the best impact, the best result that you have. So of all the solutions that you have, everything also will be good, but there will be 1 or 2 or 3 that can actually give you the best results based on this time that you have. And you want to focus on those that can give you the best results. Make sense? Yeah. So with that, focus on the 20%. Yeah. What is that? And this is where decide on the solutions that can actually give you the big leap, the big outcome that you want. Yeah. So there's 4 types of things that we have to look into. There are things that is not urgent and not important. Yeah. You do the things, it's just a waste of time because it's not going to help to move you towards the outcome that you want. Make sense? There are things that's urgent. Urgent means that we have to do it, but it's actually not very important at all. Is there work that you actually do it and you have to do it because you've been asked to do, and it's very urgent, you spend all the whole day doing it quickly, only to find that after you finish the whole day, you realize that whatever you have just done, right, doesn't really make an impact, doesn't really help you in achieving the goals, your ultimate goals that you want. Correct? And most of the time it's doing other people's job, other people's work. Yeah. So sometimes you have to be mindful of that because we are all a creature of urgency. We do things as urgent. Yeah, we don't do things as important. The red zone are the urgent and important things. Yeah, urgent and important things. Things as urgent and important. These are the real tasks, important tasks. If you don't do it, you're going to have troubles. Yeah, things that put food on the table, things that have to be done on day-to-day basis at work. Yeah. And these are things you have to do. Okay. If you don't do it, you're in big trouble. So you must do. Yeah. And the 4th one is things that is urgent. It's not urgent, but it's important. It's important. But whether you do it now or not, it's not urgent. There's no urgency. Life still goes on. Work still is able to go on. But you know that if you spend time doing it, then you may actually improve on yourself, maybe like learning, taking up some new knowledge, for example, reading up some books and be good at the technical know-how, for example, or creating a system so that in the future you don't have to take 2 hours to complete this job, or you don't have to do it manually. You come up with a system or process to do it. You come up with, for example, creating relationship with your fellow colleagues so that next time you can just leverage on them, just give them a call and you can get answers rather than you have to go and figure it out and read the books yourself. You know what I'm saying? All this relationship building is an important thing to do, but is it urgent? No. How about health? For example, your health. Yeah. Is it important? Yeah, health is important. Is it urgent? You can wait. A lot of people just wait on that. So these are things. So you need to be able to identify the 4 different tasks that you have. There's a lot of solutions that you come up with. Some solutions looks very good, but it's actually not urgent, not important at all. There are some solutions that it looks very urgent. It has to be done, but if you've done it, it doesn't really help you to move to the outcome that you want. Yeah, but it's important for other people. Yeah, there are some solutions that is very urgent and important. You better do it right now. Okay, you got to do it right now because you must take action right now because otherwise tomorrow you're gonna have a lot of problems. Yeah, there are some solutions that no, it's good to do it now, but due to the urgency of other things, you've always been pushing and procrastinating. But you know that if you spend time doing it, it can help. Make sense? Yeah. So I want you to focus on things that is important. If you identify that the solutions are important solutions that you have to take because it can help you to move towards the outcome, your preferred future, the goals that you want, it gives you to where you want, then do that. This is where the green zone and the red zone. So you need to identify what's important, okay, and do the important thing. Yeah, make sense? So identify what's useful, most useful, and start working on that without delay. Right. So in here, you need to have the mindset of saying that sometimes what's important may not be urgent, but what's urgent may not be important. But you want to be able to mindfully decide on that. Great. Make the decision. Yeah. What's matter most to you, to the company, to your career, and do that. All right. So we cover that. And finally, what matters? Finally, is the success strategy. Okay. Once you have decided what solution to do, right now you have kind of technically solve it, but not entirely. In order to solve anything, you must be able to get to the result and really solve the problem, right? Now, otherwise, ideas are just as good as this. So how do you execute these ideas and see whether it really works or not? Yeah. So first of all, you need to have an action plan. Yeah. They are saying it goes at a goal. I just recently heard today. Yeah. I just want to follow it back. A goal without a plan is just a dream. It's just a wishful thinking. It's just a wish. Yeah. So you need to have a plan. So a plan, who does what, when, things like that. And the plan is only as good as a plan until you start taking action. Okay. That means you need to have a strategy. And how do you take action? Okay. Number one, first of all, the plan has to be simple. Yeah. When you take the action, it has to be a simple action. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it more complicated than you should. Make it as simple and as straightforward as possible. Make it dummy proof. Yeah. With this, I just want to, I want you to write this down. Okay. There's 3 rules for the KISS principle. Number 1, okay. Keep it simple and straightforward, or else you will fail. Number 1, keep it simple and straightforward, or else you will fail. That's number 1. Okay. Number 2, ask, does it actually work? Does the plan actually work? Does the solution actually work? Okay, you must make sure it works, right? That means you need to test it, right? Okay. And number 3, if it number 1 and 2 is good, number 3, very important. Can anyone do it? Ask yourself, can anyone do it? Maybe you can do it, but can any other people do it? Is it dummy proof? That means, can any dummy also do it? That is simple and straightforward. Because if you are the expert and you are a very highly intelligent and you're the only one doing it, so only people in your capabilities, intelligent, only can do it. You have to be engineers, only can do it. You have to be doctors, only can do it. Right? Then it's going to be a challenge, right? So you want to come up with a solution that anyone can do it. Sometimes it's not possible, but you want to be as simple as possible. Yeah. Anyone can just come over, can teach them really quickly, and you can just do it. And you can just duplicate and model it and do it. Then it's going to be a very, very fantastic solution. Yeah. Always think forward. Who do you intend them to do? Yeah. You always have to be a degree holder or an expert, must be a master degree or doctorate degree to do it. Then you're going to have a lot of challenges. I want to get anybody from the streets. I can pick them up, teach them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and they can just follow it. It'll be even easier, right? Then the success rate becomes easier. So always keep it simple and straightforward. Yeah, very, very important. Okay, so how to take action? Take small steps, small actions. Take baby steps. Don't take a big leap and just do it and see it should work and gamble everything. Solution-focused approach is always working on small steps. Why small steps? Why not big steps? What's the benefit of small steps? What do you think? Why take small steps? Yeah, because you take small steps, is it easier to achieve? Yeah. And if you achieve it, do you build confidence on it? Yeah. If you achieve it, is it successful? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. It's easier, right? And every step builds confidence, give you to the direction that you want. But what if you make the small step and it fails? Is it a big deal? It's just back step. No, try again, right? But if you take a big step forward, if it works well, yay, lucky, very good. Whew. But if you take a big step and it fails, what happens? Then you're in big trouble. Yeah. So solution-focused approach, we always find it that let's be practical. Yeah. When you do small steps, we can also use it as a training ground. And hence we are always experimenting. Every step is like an experiment. Even though we have experimented for 10,000 times, it's still an experiment because you never know things change. Yeah. So what you do, every step you do, you want to test it. You want to measure whether you're still getting the same results. And you want to verify that this is exactly the result we want. So every small steps, every other people who's doing the small steps, we are always constantly teaching them to test, measure, and verify. Test, measure, and verify. Make sense? Yeah. So it's because you're experimenting all the way. And after you've done many times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, you're always getting the same results. Or 10 times, still getting the same results. Are you not confident about it? You are, right? And then you can pass on to another person and do step 1, step 2, step 3, 10 times, 20 times, and it's still getting the same results. Are you super confident? Definitely. Take the same thing, give it to another person, and they do the same thing, and you still get the same results. Are you absolutely confident now? Then you know it works, right? And we want to experiment. So it's always test, measure, and verify. And we want to be very detailed and thorough when we are doing this, especially at the beginning. So test. I do it. Yeah, it works. Now, next person do it. Can you do it? Can you duplicate the same thing? If you do it, good. And we want to document this so that we know that for sure we have tested to the point that we are super, super confident. Yeah, sometimes we may not be super confident, but we need to test it along the way. Get it? Yeah. Then with that, we want to affirm whether the results and solution that we are expecting is there. If you are, great. Yeah. And we want to get other people to affirm and the solution and say can confirm that. Yeah. So the key to doing this in any success in the strategy of taking action is only one. Yeah. Following up and following through. Keep following up and following through. Sometimes it may take you 2-3 months just to follow and follow through until you become very confident. Or maybe you follow and follow through for 1 whole year. Do whatever you need to, but you need to follow up and follow through. Really follow up and follow through until you know for sure you have done a good job. All right? Don't take it for granted that, yeah, it works and pass it on and expect people to just do it. So there's a lot of training involved, a lot of discussion involved, a lot of education involved. No, there's so many processes. It's very tedious. It's actually very simple, but it's a lot. It takes a lot of effort. Yeah, but it's something that we must do. My experience. Yeah, if you don't do this, you're risky. Yeah, so do that. So once you get this done, review it. You can ask questions such as what happened, what worked, what didn't work, what did we learn from this experiment or this experience, and how can we improve it more, do a little bit better, another next small steps forward, what can we do differently. So you keep improving as you go along. And the Japanese has this word called Kaizen, continuous improvement. That's exactly it. We just keep testing and testing and testing. Keep experimenting, even though it's already in production. Every production they're going through, even though it's live, we are technically still, our mindset is that we're just testing it. That means from time to time, we want to go and check it out. Yeah, it's still the same thing. Yes, everybody's still doing the same thing. Yes, we're still testing and experimenting along the way. Okay, and then we document everything so that we have a working formula, a working solution. Yeah, we document everything so that we can write a book about it. We can have a SOP, standard operating procedure. We come up with a system and a proof system, a proof processes and everything. We document. Okay, get it? That's all. Yeah, this is the model. As 5 simple steps, things you have to do. Prefer future, know what you want. Okay, find out what you have right now, the resource, what works, what's working right now. Okay, what are the exceptions that we can maybe leverage on, because the key to the solution could be from the exception. We want to find out what are the strengths, knowledge, resources and relationships that we have that's helping us to get to where we want. Yeah, and from all that, say we're able to come out all the solutions, potential solutions, we want to start to choose the one that gives us the biggest impact. Find out what's utmost useful to get started. Yeah, and always in control, taking control all the time, making sure that we don't simply make decision. They make sure it's facts, making sure that we don't let emotion take the best out of us. We want to be able to be responsible, stepping up as a leader. Yeah, taking control. Yeah, and then implementing the strategies, taking small steps, keeping it simple, experimenting all the way, following up and follow through all the way, and documenting the process all the way. With the intention, are we moving towards the preferred future that we are looking at? Yeah. If the strategies are moving towards the preferred future, great. Then you should reinforce the opportunity that we have. That means it's working. Let's do more. And then apply onto the next solution. It's then tested it. Is it going to the going towards to the future, making it better, yes. And this cycle keep going as we are taking in control all the time. And that's how we solve problems on the day-to-day basis. All right? Yeah. So I just want to recap on the 3 key principles of solution focus. Don't fix what isn't broken. Find out what works and do more of it. Stop doing what doesn't work and do something else. I like number 2. I focus on number 2. Take out a torchlight. Find out what works. Your job is to find out what works and what sometimes works. And can you find out what is the sometimes? This is called an exception. And you just work on these 2. My experience that you will find so many solutions that can be helpful. Okay, you don't have to be too clever, but you need to be clever enough to figure out these things. Okay, with that, I'm done. The summary over here. The preferred feature is basically focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. Okay, focus correctly on what we want, not what we don't want. Focus on what we want. Yeah, whatever we focus on will expand. We ask the right question to get to what we want. The uncover opportunities is focus on what we have right now, what's working right now, what are the resources, strengths, know-how, skills that we have, whatever we have, because sometimes the clues that we are looking for are already right in front of us. Okay, if you have exhausted all we have, then you find out what other people have, and we can learn from other people and bring it back. Yeah, so basically find out what works internally, then go outside and find out what works outside, and how can we bring it back. Yeah, this is part of the solution building process. It's on the uncovering opportunities. Always take control. Take control means focus on what we can do, not what we cannot do. You find ourselves we focus on what we cannot do means we are in denial, we are blaming, we are justifying, that's what we cannot do. Focus on what we can do. If we focus on what we can do, we tend to be a bit more responsible. We start to take charge. Yeah, we manage our emotion along the way. Yeah, we are very conscious of our decision. Just don't let our mind take you away. Make sense? Yeah. Remember, high emotion, low intelligence. Yeah. Then utmost useful. Focus on what's useful. Yeah. There's so many things we can do, but we want to focus on things that's most useful. The most useful usually are things that's most important, and sometimes also urgent. Yeah. So most important. Focus on things that's important. Yeah. Then engage or work with activities that really give you the result. Remember, it's either you have results or excuses. Yeah, focus on that. And finally, small success. Okay, creating success strategy. Yeah, start. Keep it simple. Experiment. It's always experiment, follow up, document. Build on confidence. Intentionally go out there to create success. That means every small step that you create success, it builds on confidence. And when every success builds confidence, and confidence builds success, it's a cycle. So what we're going to do on the 5 is intentionally go outside and find out what works, try it out, get it work. Yeah, it's good. Create more confident. It's about confident building. The more confident you are, eventually you're going to be a very confident problem solver. All right. So with that, thank you very much. I'm done. I hope you are there. You learn something. I hope you have a big aha moment. Yeah, because this session is a webinar. It's a one-way direction. I would love to have an interaction with you in a program like this, even better, that you pick up more. But I still hope that you learn something, okay? That you can go out and solve problems for yourself. All right? With that, thank you very much. I'm going to pass it back to you, Baran. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for a rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP Knowledge Seeker. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Sir, our first question is from Ishaya. Sir, is solution focused long term or short term?
All right, thank you for the question. Very good question. So, I use this technique, the solution focused approach, right, for both. It can be definitely for long term because just look at it. If you're going to do reviews and do experiment and everything, after so many effort you're going to put inside, it's definitely not just for short term. However, we can also come up with short term solution while we are trying to solve a big problem. It means the short term solution comes up just to handle the situation, and then we're going to do all these things for a long term basis. So it can be both, depending how you use it for. Right? Can be both. So that framework that I share with you is for short and long. So depending on where, again, you ask a question. The first question will be, what's your preferred future? What do you want? Short term, what do you want? Long term, what do you want? And both are different strategies to come up with a solution. All right, Isaiah? Any more questions?
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer. Sir, there is no more questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and new date. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Okay, see you all. Bye-bye. I'll be around just for a while.
Honorable sir, before I move to the next, if you want to leave this studio, you can. The IGP knowledge is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP knowledge is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find your learning session and get enrolled. After watching complete part 1, move to the next, which is the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next, which is the learning test passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP knowledge seeker, for electricity issue, we cannot continue the quiz session. So at the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to a goal, not a people of things. Albert Einstein. Before I say hit the unlike button, again wants to thank all IGP knowledge seeker for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.